an entire American city has just voted to officially ban all future mask and vaccine mandates as they relate to COVID-19. And this decision of theirs, it comes at a time when many of these different COVID mandates are starting to return piecemeal across the whole country, in schools, in hospitals, in businesses, and even in local governments. And so the lawmakers in the city, they saw this action as essentially a necessary preemptive step to protect the liberty of their constituents moving forward. And at the same time, well, they also created a roadmap for other cities throughout the whole nation to follow. However, before we dive into the specifics of how and why this happened, I'll quickly mention that if you appreciate content like this, which oftentimes gets completely ignored by the mainstream media, well, I hope you consider taking a super quick moment to smash that like button so this video can be shared out to ever more people via the algorithm, as well as that little subscribe button so that you can get this type of honest news content delivered directly into your YouTube feed every time we publish it. Now, getting back to the main topic, the city that just implemented this new policy is Huntington Beach, California, located in Orange County, a little bit south of Los Angeles. And this fact is quite notable because California had some of the most stringent mandates in the whole country. In fact, you might remember how Governor Gavin Newsom, he made a very special point to make California the first state in the nation to announce a COVID vaccine requirement for school children. This was then followed up by proposed legislation that would have eliminated the personal belief exemption throughout the whole state in regards to vaccines. Now, with the rekindling of mandates across the whole country, including in California, the lawmakers over in the city of Huntington Beach, they weren't taking any chances, and they have thus preemptively outlawed all future mask and vaccine mandates within their city limits. Specifically, 3 days ago, the city council voted against imposing any future such mandates in the city. In fact, Ms. Gracie Vandermark, who is the mayor pro temp within the city, she explained the reasoning for why she brought this item to the floor as follows.
The city should ban broad, universal mask and vaccine mandates by declaring the city to be a no mask, no vaccine mandate city. I am asking that the city ban the broad, universal mask and vaccine mandates, and I'd like to ask the city manager to return to council with a resolution at the next regular meeting declaring the city to be a no mask, no vaccine mandate city.
And with that, Ms. Vandermark brought the measure to the city council floor. And due to the fact that the residents of the city in the last November election, they voted to have a majority conservative city council, well, the resolution wound up passing. The conservative majority on the city council, they voted in favor of outlawing the mandates, and they, quote, directed the city manager to return at the city's next council meeting with a resolution declaring Huntington Beach a no mask and no vaccine mandate city for COVID-19 or any of its variants. Now, the vote on this particular measure was not unanimous. The city council actually voted 4-3, with the Democratic minority on the council all voting in opposition. And in terms of why exactly they opposed this measure, well, here was what one member of the Democrat minority said during the meeting. Quote, none of us are public health experts. None of us are research experts. I'm the only person up here with a science and engineering background. For us to be making public health determinations when we're a public policy board is wild. And then another member of the Democrat minority added this, quote, it's almost 3 a.m. and we're sitting here talking about COVID, masks, and vaccines. Nobody has asked for this. However, on the flip side, you had the mayor pro tem make the argument that this resolution would protect the personal freedoms of the local residents. Here's what she said, quote, this is all about individual liberty and standing against government intrusion. Last time when this happened, U.S. residents were actually stopped from enjoying our beaches. We had state troopers with weapons guarding our beaches. And then you had the mayor of the city himself agreeing with her, quote, it's important for our city to make a statement that says what happened in the past is not going to happen in the future. We're going to fight hard to make sure that individual freedoms are respected. And so indeed, because of the conservative majority on the city council, the resolution ultimately passed. And for your reference, here is specifically what the recommended action that was just voted into effect. Here's what it actually says, quote, the city bans broad, universal mask and vaccine mandates. The city manager is to return to the council with a resolution at the next regular meeting declaring the city to be a no mask and no vaccine mandate city as a response to COVID-19 or any variants. Individuals, whether at City Hall or in the private sector, should have a right to choose whether to wear a mask or get vaccinated or boosted. Meaning that the city will not impose any government mandates, but according to this wording at least, it appears that individual businesses will still be free to choose to impose mask mandates within their own shops. And just for your reference, much like the rest of the country, Orange County is currently seeing a small rise in the number of COVID cases, just like they're seeing a small rise in the number of people who get the flu. But unlike the flu, an increase in COVID cases is having the effect of reigniting discussions over COVID mandates. For instance, over in Los Angeles, which is just a short 1-hour drive north from Huntington Beach, the LA Public Health Agency, they recently officially recommended that quote-unquote high-risk residents need to, once again, wear masks. Citing an increase in COVID cases, here's what the LA County agency actually wrote in a public statement. Quote, to reduce risks, especially as transmission of the virus is increasing, the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health asks those more vulnerable to take precautions to reduce potential exposures, including by wearing masks. As fall approaches, all residents are encouraged to ask their healthcare provider what vaccines they should get to protect against COVID-19. The FDA and the CDC are slated to consider authorizing a new COVID-19 vaccine next month. And so, over in the city of Huntington Beach, even though some residents criticized the new resolution by saying that it was fighting, quote, non-existent imaginary COVID restrictions, well, the reality is that these COVID mandates are actually right on Orange County's doorstep. Very similar to how they're on the doorstep of most cities throughout the country, especially as the winter ramps up and the number of COVID cases naturally rises. However, the city of Huntington Beach just gave essentially a roadmap to the rest of the country on how to preemptively deal with these mandates. And so I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you agree with this new measure taken by the city to outlaw all government COVID mandates? And would you like to see a similar measure implemented in the city where you live? Which, by the way, if you do, is probably just as simple as asking your local representative to put the measure on the agenda for the next city council meeting. I mean, frankly, if it can be done in California, it can be probably done anywhere. Regardless, please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be reading them later today as well as over the week. And also, if you'd like to either read any of my research notes or if you'd like to watch the full video of the city council meeting where this measure was actually passed, I'll throw all those links down into the description box below this video for you to peruse at your own leisure. All right, if you're like me, then probably once a week, you stop for a second and you ponder to yourself, whatever happened to Chuck Norris? Well, I recently saw a video that he made and I was shocked. The man is in his 80s, but he's still kicking butt, staying fit, working out, and staying active. What's even more shocking is that he's stronger, he can work out longer, and he even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. And he says he did this by making one single change. He convinced his wife to make the same change as well, and now she says she feels younger, leaner, and again, she has more energy for her grandkids all day long. Now, Chuck made an awesome video explaining everything. And by watching it, you might actually change your opinion about health. So head on over to chuckdefense.com/Roman and see it for yourself. Again, that's chuckdefense.com/Roman to see what Chuck Norris is up to. And then lastly, you might not know this, but on the very same day that Joe Biden was sworn into office, by some magical cosmic coincidence, on that very same day, YouTube made the decision to demonetize our channel. Since January 10th of 2021, we have not been able to run ads before, during, or after our program. The super chat feature has just been disabled, and our reach has just completely fallen off a cliff. Now, every few months, on the back end of this channel, I appeal that decision, which for the past 3 years has always been rejected. And the reason for the rejection is always that some channel associated with our account grossly violated YouTube's policy. They never tell us which channel it was, which piece of their content, and which policy was violated. And furthermore, every single one of our channels receives the same message, meaning that every channel gets demonetized because the system claims that one of the other channels violated some kind of a policy. It's really beautiful how it all works. And also, about 2 days ago, I learned that YouTube was in fact running ads in front of some of my videos. For instance, multiple people told me that this episode right here had pre-roll ads in front of it. And that is frankly amazing. Because for one, we don't get any money from those ads. We're denied monetization, and so nothing can go into our account. But then secondly, YouTube claims that our channel is not advertiser friendly, and so they refuse to monetize us. But they still run ads in our content. They just don't pay us for them. It's almost like it has nothing to do with being advertiser friendly, but rather, at least to me, it appears that they're trying to use the purse strings to control what we do and do not say. Regardless, if you'd like to support the journalism that we do here at the Epoch Times, if you would like to support our work and potentially get access to some of the best content on the web, well, the best thing that you can do is subscribe. And this month, we've actually extended our awesome sale on subscriptions. Just 25 cents a week for the whole year, which if you do the math, works itself out to just be a single $1 a month. And so if you've been on the fence about subscribing to the Epoch Times, maybe you head on over to the website, you're getting hit with a paywall, it's getting annoying, and you know that you're definitely looking for a source of honest news, well, perhaps take the sale as an opportunity to try the Epoch Times for yourself. That way, you can get access to all the phenomenal content, all the documentaries, the videos, the movies, the infographics, the deep analysis, the awesome articles, the great newsletters, and also, I publish anywhere between 1 to 3 exclusive episodes of Facts Matter over on Epoch TV. And so, if you'd like to watch some extra episodes of Facts Matter, including a huge backlog of episodes from the last 2.5 years, you can find it all over on the website. I'll throw a link to the sales page. It'll be right there at the top of the description box below. You can just click on that link and head on over and subscribe for just, again, a single $1 a month. You can, of course, cancel anytime, but I'm sure that you won't. I'm sure that you'll love it and be a subscriber for a long time to come. Again, that link is right there at the top of the description box below. I hope you check it out. And then, until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epoch Times. Stay informed. Most importantly, stay free.